Here we will see dataset object in ADO.NET. Dataset is an in-memory data store that stores tables just like a database, and it operates in disconnected mode to store multiple tables simultaneously. Datasets only hold the data but do not interact with the data source. For this, data adapter is used to perform all the connection related work. With dataset, the connections are opened only for a certain amount of time as long as the dataset needs it. Then the data adapter closes the connection, and with this it provides a security to the database, and along with it reduces the impact on the server. That is, dataset act as a local cache which allows user to store and manipulate the data without maintaining a constant connection to a database. For example, to define a dataset, first we have to define a data adapter, then we'll define a dataset and we'll fill the data adapter with the dataset. The dataset class found in system.data namespace is composed of several key objects. First, data table collection. A dataset contains 0 or more data table objects which represent single tables of memory resident data. Then data column collection. Each data table has a collection of data column objects that define its schema, that is columns. Then data row collection. It contains the actual data in the table represented by the data row object. Then data relation collection. It manages the relationship between the tables within the dataset, which is similar to the foreign key relationship in a database. And constraint collection. It enforces data integrity rules such as unique and foreign key constraints. Different properties of datasets are case sensitive. It is used to get or set a value indicating whether the string comparison within the data table objects are case sensitive. It returns true if the string comparison are case sensitive, otherwise it returns false. The default value is false. Then dataset name. It is used to get or set the name of the current dataset. Has errors. It is used to get a value indicating whether there are errors in any of the data table object within the dataset. Then is initialized. It is used to get a value that indicates whether the dataset is initialized. It returns true to indicate the components has been initialized, otherwise it returns false. Then relations. It is used to get the collection of relations that link tables and allow navigation from parent tables to child tables. And tables. It is used to get the collection of tables contained in the dataset. Different methods of ADO.NET dataset class are: first, begin init. It begins the initialization of a dataset that is used on a form or used by another component. The initialization occurs at runtime. Then clear. It clears the dataset of any data by removing all rows in the tables. Then close. It copies the structure of dataset including data table schemas, relations and constraints. It do not copy any data. Then copy. It copies both the structure and data for the dataset. Then end init. It ends the initialization of dataset that is used on a form or used by another component. The initialization occurs at runtime. Then get XML. It returns the XML representation of data stored in the dataset. Then get XML schema. It returns the XML schema for the XML representation of data stored in the dataset. Uses of datasets are: complex data structure. When your application involves multiple tables with relationship, dataset provides a unified way to represent and manage these structures. It is particularly useful when working with the data models that mirror a relational database. Then disconnected data manipulation. Dataset is designed for scenarios where you need to work with the data offline. You can fill a dataset with data, manipulate it locally, and then apply changes back to the database using data adapter. Then data binding with relationship. If you are building data-driven user interfaces that involve displaying data from multiple related tables, dataset allows you to set up relationship between tables and bind controls to show the related data. Then data consolidation. If you are pulling data from multiple data sources or services and need to consolidate for processing, dataset can hold data from different sources and unify it for further manipulation. Hierarchical data. If your data has a hierarchical structure such as categories and subcategories, dataset supports relationships naturally, which makes it easier to work with parent-child data. Then data caching and offline access. In scenarios where network connectivity is intermittent or where the data retrieval from the database is resource intensive, dataset can store a local copy of the data for offline usage. In batch updates. When you need to perform batch updates that involve changes across multiple related tables, dataset in conjunction with data adapter enables you to apply changes to the database as a transaction. And data transformation. If you need to transform or manipulate data before persisting it to the database database or passing it to another layer of application, DataSet provides tools to achieve these tasks.